All right, what is going on YouTube? This is Commissioner Demo of the If You're Not First, You're Last Fantasy Football League. I have on my phone here the Yahoo Fantasy app. This is what I draft through, and this is what we play fantasy football on. I'm just going to do a quick recap of how Week 1 turned out and where we're all at in the league. So to start off, we have Game 1, which is myself, Suck Golf, D's Nuts, and C Works Hard for D-Money, which is my father. He's in my league. Just to start off, I got my ass whooped. Anthony Richardson totally took away his team. On my side, Mike Evans and Aaron Jones dominated for me. Aaron Jones, I would have liked to see get more points, but he did better than his projection at 11.25, so I'll take that any day of the week. Mike Evans also did more than his projected of 11.76, scoring 20.60. Both of our defenses scored 15 points. Nobody really notable on the benches that we could have started that would have been better, besides I could have started Xavier Worthy over DK Metcalf, or no, that's it. I could have just started him over DK Metcalf, and that would have probably given me not probably, it would have given me a little bit more points, but not enough to beat him outright. So my dad deserves to win 136.70 to 119.85. That's going to finish game number 1. Game 2, we have Galladay and Express and Dem Boys. Dem Boys being Dalton and Galladay and Express being Ryan Wells. To start off on Galladay inside, we have Josh Allen scoring 35.50, which is damn good for a quarterback in my league. His projected was 26.75, so almost 10 points more than his projected. Jalen Waddle got 15.70. It's not bad. It's not Tyreek Hill numbers by any means. Started Stephon Diggs, who just joined Houston, so he has CJ Stroud thrown to him, and they have such a stacked offense. So I was really concerned about how Diggs was going to get the ball. He ended up scoring him 18.90, which is pretty good. For Dalton's side, we're going to look at his whole team besides Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker scored him the most points on his team. Defense scoring 9, the kicker scoring 9. Amon-Ra St. Brown scoring 280. That I don't believe that's going to happen again, especially in Week 2 going up against Tampa's defense. I'm a Tampa fan myself, and I know the defense is a little bit banged up, so I know Lions are probably going to run away with the game, but I would love to see them keep it close. So Amon-Ra St. Brown should produce for him in Week 2. Joe Burrow finished with 670. They did not play well against New England at all. So looking at Dem Boys' bench, Matthew Stafford got 1985, so he probably should have started Matthew Stafford over Joe Burrow. I know how crazy that seems on paper, but he puts him in, it probably would have put him a little bit closer to that 100 mark, but not enough to beat Ryan. So Ryan deserves a win at 133.60 over 72.80. We do get to start just checking to see if Dalton's still Dem Boys. I'll show y'all right here in the video. So yeah, Dem Boys is 0-1. Let's kick off game number 3 with the Heartstoppers and Plan Bijan. The Heartstoppers is Andrew. He started CJ Stroud, got him 23 points, a little bit lower than his projected at 25.43, which is not that bad. You have Alvin Kamara scoring 19.50 against the Panthers. I mean, it's the Panthers. How could he not do that? His projected was 13.51, so he's doing all right for him. And Jake Moody carried his team, but not enough to win. As you see here, 112 to 113.15. Jake Moody scoring 26 points as a kicker is phenomenal, in my opinion. He did have New York Jets defense. Everybody was saying Jets should have had the number 1 defense this year. I personally didn't see it. He did start Travis Kelce over Isaiah Likely, but, I didn't think Likely would have done what he did either. So I probably myself would have started Travis Kelce, but Travis is on a decline, so I'd probably be a little bit more weary about starting him and sitting Isaiah Likely in the near future. To look at Plan Bijan bench, he sat Baker Mayfield at 39.55. Started Caleb Williams, who only scored 6.15, which I probably would have wanted to see Caleb Williams play his first game in the NFL before I started him over Baker. He did squeak out the win by 1.15 points. So, I mean, good for Plan Bijan. The Heartstoppers, hopefully his team can produce a little bit more. So, as of right now, Bryce win. To kick off game number 3, we have Beginner's Luck and Christian McCarry. He did draft Christian McCaffrey with his first overall pick, and he ended up getting injured. So, he tried to pick up San Francisco's second running back, Isaac. I'm not even going to pronounce the last name. I don't know how to say it. Ended up scoring him 0. Nobody on his team really stood out besides Cooper Kupp and Jordan Love scoring over 20 points. Those are his only 2 players that produced for him. Let's take a look at Beginner's Luck. Phillip, being a new guy in the league, never played fantasy football, squeaked out the Week 1 win with 106.50. Tua didn't have his best game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, only scoring 25 points. Jaden Reed, which I'm going to take a look at his stats real quick. Jaden Reed went off for him. 33 rushing yards, rushing touchdown, 4 receptions, 138 receiving yards, a receiving touchdown, and a 40-yard reception. And you get some bonus points for a 40-yard reception on my league. Jaden Reed carried his team for him. He doesn't start him. I honestly don't see winning this game, but good for him starting him. I personally wouldn't have done it. I didn't know how he was going to be, but I guess that's a love of fantasy football. So Philip, beginner's luck, squeaks out the week 1 win with 106.50 over 85.80. Scrolling down to the second to last game of the week, we have 2 girls, 1 cup, and Lance Vance 2024, which is Braden. 2 girls, 1 cup is Nick. Braden scoring 133.45, which is just enough to beat 2 girls, 1 cup, 117.65. He started Dak Prescott. Didn't really do that great. I mean, he won the game against Cleveland, but didn't produce enough points. He had Tyreek Hill, which obviously scored 24.50 after his detainment with the police. He did go off in that game after the second half, obviously. Brandon Aubrey was his next highest score at 21, Dallas's kicker, aside with Dallas's defense. You could tell he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. But other than that, tight end, Jerry Jeudy, Brown for Cincinnati, and Josh Jacobs really didn't produce enough points. So did Devontae Adams. He really didn't do anything for him. So, I mean, really it was just the kicker and the defense and Tyreek Hill that got him most of his points, which good for him. He pulled out the win. Nick's side being with Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, Derrick Henry. James Conner being his highest scorer of the game, aside from Lamar Jackson and Miami's defense. Really didn't see enough to pull out the win here. So it seems only right being Lance Vance takes a win here, 133.45 to 117.65. Take on the last game here. We have Baby Back Gibbs and Deporta Control. Baby Back Gibbs, Anthony started Patrick Mahomes, which, how could you not start Pat Mahomes? You obviously want him to do good. He scored 17.55. It's not good. It's way under his projected. Marvin Harrison Jr. only scored .90. I'd probably look into starting somebody else if he keeps that same score up. If he can't score over 10 points, I'd probably take him out. Jahmyr Gibbs scoring him 15.40. And Ford scoring 15.90. It's just not enough on Baby Back Gibbs' side to win this football game. Nobody produced for him. And then you got Deporta Control. Saquon Barkley pretty much carried his team 32-20 with receiving touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns in the game against Green Bay. And then you have HN at 19.50. Other than those 2 players, aside from Jalen Hurts, I see Deporta Control's win here. Baby Back Gibbs just needs to execute and probably play the waiver wire a little more, or if you take a look at his bench, he needs to J.K. Dobbins, I would say, against the Panthers. But if he starts his bench right here, he definitely takes home the dub against Deporta Control here, so it was just poor execution on Anthony's part. Deporta Control, which is Ryan Mott, got the dub here, so that's going to cap off the week 1 matchup, so we're going to go ahead and go to the league here. So far we have C Works Hard for D-Money in first place with the highest scoring of 136.70. I myself suck off these nuts and 0-1 end in 7th place at 119.85, so if you're not first, you're last, so I'm considered last place right now, and you have Dem Boys definitely 12th place at 0-1 with 72.80 scored. Can't even score above 100. And again, just checking to see if Dalton's still Dem Boys. That's going to cap off week 1. See y'all in week 2.